Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Francesco. I am NeoThinker on PTCGL, YouTube, and X. If you guys have been following this content, I've been running the Greninja Starmie deck. I have 3 other videos that dive deeply into the list, so I won't be going over it tonight. If you're interested in the deck, I definitely talk a lot about it in those other videos, and tonight we're just going to go right into the games. I want to show off some gameplay, especially for those who are interested in the deck and want to see how it runs, those who may want to take it to NAIC this weekend. Hopefully these videos can give you some pointers. I also do offer coaching for Pokemon, deck optimization, theory crafting, skill optimization, development, and I'm also helping with this deck, helping you understand the ins and outs, how to approach it against different matchups, and how to optimize the actual list, how to play this deck. So one of the things that I've done recently is I swapped out the Badoo for a Shaymin, because as much as this deck can beat Slowking, as one player in Turin did, they played it 3 times, they beat it all 3 times without Shaymin, running through Starmie and Greninja. You can race Slowking, especially if you're going first. And Greninja can also one-shot the Kangaskhan, which is nice in that matchup. Brings you up 3 prizes, which is really nice. You know, if you don't go first and you don't get a good start, that deck can run all over you. And we see what happens when you get greedy against Slowking, right? So I want to play the Shaymin. It's the extra assurance. Just give you a quick look at the deck before we play tonight. I've made no other changes. I mean, I've talked about in my other videos some of the things I've considered. And if you're interested, check them out. But yeah, we're going to go with the Shaymin over the Badoo tonight. All of the Pokemon stay the same. And I am still going with the Salvatore because I don't have the Badoo. This is my thought process here, because I don't have Badoo for going second. I want something else. So my other option is Salvatore, where I can still have an explosive turn going second, or even mid to late game when you draw into a Staryu or a Snorunt and you want to go right into the evolution, drop the energy, and create a blowout scenario. It's happened. I like it. It works in this deck. You can also find it with Meowth. Otherwise, this is the 4th Ultra Ball or 3rd Hilda. As I said, there's some other cards I've considered. You know, it would be nice to have a 2nd Stretcher. It would be nice to have a 2nd Wally. You know, possibly a 4th Termination if I'm not playing Judge, but the Judge has been good against the Meganium Ogerpon decks. When they play Dawn, Celebi, Bugcatcher, it's good to just disrupt their hand. Even against Beedrill especially, you want to make sure they don't have all the cards to do what they're supposed to do. But obviously this is here for the Alakazam matchup. Just like having the Shaymin for Slowking, I like to have the Judge for Alakazam. Red card is not enough, and in this deck, as I explained before, it is really nice to have a disruption with a threat on the board. So having a Starmie, a Greninja, or a Froslass, and then playing Judge puts you in a very, very good position. It's disruption followed up by pressure. You're leveraging the disruption instead of not doing anything, and you know, having the inevitable hit you back in the face, right? So it's nice to have pressure alongside Judge, and this deck does just that. Obviously, a 4th Stadium would be nice. Another way to get the Starmie out of the active, like Surfer, Air Balloon, or Switch. I like Surfer most because you can find it with Meowth. It's multi-purpose. You can do, you can draw cards with it. You're not stuck just putting it on one Pokemon. And this deck wants Moldo spells, right? Multifunctional, cross-performing spells. It's magic. Trainers, because the deck is really tight on space, so any card you put in here needs to have high impact and have versatility, right? That advances our game plan. And lastly, this is something I want to go over tonight. You know, when to play Lily's Determination. There's been instances, such as one of the last matches I played. I think it was, I don't remember what matchup it was, but the controversy was that I should have played Lily's Determination early. Instead, it was against Alakazam. Instead, I navigated through a targeted draw, which was Hilda for Starmie. You're going to come to realize that in this deck, if you have the opportunity to establish your board, you're going to do that. and only play Determination if you really need it, if you need answers or need to recover. If you can evolve your Starmie, that is the line, right? And so you also end up seeing more cards that way. When you establish board control with this deck, you generate card advantage. If you're just drawing blindly with Laser Determination, when you have a Staryu on the battlefield and you're not evolving, you're going to be behind, right? This deck wants to use and leverage the targeted draw cards to establish your board presence by turn 2, turn 3. If you have Laser Determination, but you also have the opportunity to evolve and take over with Starmie, or you want to go Grand Tree into Greninja, those are the plays first, which includes Tenacity. The Determination's only if you need it. So I'm going to show you how that works tonight. I just wanted everyone to address that because it's come up, and some players get it. Some players think you really want to go a little bit early, but that's without a plan, it's a losing strategy. Not something you want to do in this deck. Let's get right into it. I said I wasn't going to deck tech, but there's just so much to talk about with this deck. So many technical plays, and I really, really hope that players can take away pointers for this weekend. If you're interested in running this deck, I also offer coaching for this deck optimization, deck building, theory crafting, skill development, and hopefully I can help you master this deck, which I think is a really good position to be Polt, Slowking, Zam, Hobbs Trevanant, and so much more. You're not giving up the single prize decks just to be Dragapult. So this versatility, a lot like Zoroark, this deck can adapt and be ready for pretty much any matchup from my experience. I've only really lost most matchups to sometimes bricking after being in a tough spot or getting blown up by a boss at the end, and I'll take that any day. This hand is pretty good. Obviously we want to go first. We didn't go first this time. We're going second, but in this situation, if I draw an energy, right? If I get a water energy, we're in the driver's seat because I'm going to Okay, I guess no, we are going first. All right, so we're fine. I thought we were going second for some reason. A lot of talking here. So the first one we want to go for, let's look at our hand here. We've got Starmie in our hand, right? So we are going to actually go with a Staryu to open. This is Team Rocket, so we are actually really good when we lead with Starmie in this matchup because there's 50 HP Pokemon and we're going to knock them out with the Starmie. Let's see, what else can we do here? We could also potentially get a Latias next turn to just retreat the Snorunt for free, so I'm not concerned about that right now. And they don't play Badoo, so I'm going to hold on to the Ultra Ball, and we're going to pass. That is fine. Yeah, so like I said, if you guys are interested in coaching sessions, I offer that. Leave a comment, NAIC, and I'll reach out to you. I'll send you an email, provide your email, and I'll give you the itinerary of what I offer. Okay, this is Crustle. Again, this is fine. We've got Starmie. We can take that out in one shot. What you'll learn with this deck too is that Starmie is the star. MVP. It can lead games by itself. We run 3 Ignition Energy, which allows us to utilize the... It just wants to go. Alright, it's giving me some lag tonight. But basically with Starmie, it gives us the opportunity to do Nebula Beam to one-shot many Pokemon. Oh, this can't be any better. Are you kidding me right now? We've got the Froslass and the Starmie. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to not waste any time, actually. Alright, we're going to go Ultra Ball. We're going to do 1 Frog, and we will do 1 Ignition. That is fine. This is the play that I chose. Obviously, I could have looked for Latias, Retreat, go Starmie, but we're going to do something a little bit different right now because we have the Determination, so we're not going to need that with Meowth. We're just going to do that next turn. Again, this goes back to the targeted abilities, right? The targeted trainers. So we're going to look for this. Yes. And we are going to grab the Tenacity. Do we want Tenacity? I think yeah, the Hilda or the Tenacity. No, we don't want them to evolve. Okay, we're actually going to play this right now. Yeah, this is the play. Energy. The evolution doesn't really matter. I don't want to grab these because I might need them for Grand Tree, so I'm just going to grab another one of these. We're going to play that. And we're gonna force that out into the active. We could have also bossed and retreated this and brought this out, but we're gonna actually force them to bring out the Crustle. If you guys see another line, by all means leave it in the comments. This deck is, again, technical plays, technical abilities, but I wanted to leverage the Froslass here because we have it, and look at that, another ignition. I was not going to not use it, right? I'm going to use it as the main pressure now. They're going to evolve. We're going to retreat, and then we're going to knock it out with Ignition Energy. We're giving them the false illusion that they're ahead. They're not ahead. They're very behind, actually. That's fine. We are absolutely in the driver's seat in this matchup. Okay. That could be a little issue. Okay. So that does turn things around a little bit. We can also potentially Tenacity for a Surfing Beach. But this is not as bad as it looks. We're still fine. Did not expect the hammer there. Very interesting. So we're going to Determination right now. Look at that. Oh, even better. Okay, we're not going to do it right now because we don't have the energy. But next turn, we are going to Surfing Beach, and we're going to Tenacity for an Ignition Energy and knock it out. So let's pass it back. Again, this Crustle is a very easy matchup for this list. You always want to go through Starmie. They really need another Pokemon on the battlefield right now, or they're done. Next turn, they need something. Yeah, they're looking for it. They're trying. I love all the options in this deck. I mean, that is one of the best things about this. You're given so many lines every game, and hopefully these videos will help you see that. Yeah, this is perfect. We're going to Surfing Beach now. Again, this is why I like Surfing Beach, because it's a very powerful retreat ability between these two Pokemon, and then Latias takes care of all the basics, right? So we are going to retreat. Bring this out. And then we're going to Tenacity. The Ignition looks like the tree is in our prizes. See, sometimes you're not going to run the tree. It's just not the play. And you can navigate through Starmie and win the game, which we just did. And there we go, folks. That's how you do it. So even if there were a misplay early on when I had the Froslass, which I don't think was really a misplay, I think that was just fine. It forced the Crustle out. I was thinking in my head that I could have bossed, but I can't boss in Hilda or boss Tenacity. So, but we worked out anyway. And we didn't need Greninja in this matchup. We didn't need Dusknoir. We literally just did Froslass and Starmie for that one. So there's usually a new MVP every match. I hope you guys are finding this entertaining. If you're enjoying this content, please like, comment, save, share, subscribe. It helps the channel. You know, it's a process for me. I'm gonna be improving it, growing it, and your support is greatly appreciated. Especially if you know anybody who likes rogue decks. I'm all about that. I've been playing this since Utrecht. The only thing I've done differently to the list is add Starmie, which I think really improves this list tenfold. Alright guys, that was match number 1. Do we want to change anything? Do we like the way it is? I could have Salvatored, if I went second, I could have Ultra Balled for a Salvatore. If that was Staryu, right? Think of it this way. If that was Staryu instead of Snorunt, and I had the Ultra Ball like I did, I would have had Ultra Ball into Meowth, into Salvatore, and I had the Ignition Energy. Evolve into Starmie, Ignition Energy, win the game. That's why I'm having a hard time taking out Salvatore, because it plays like that. So let's just run it back. It is late here, so depending how long this match is, I might call it a night. And I will be putting out more content tomorrow to help you guys see how this functions. I really hope we get a Starmie. I mean, even a mirror match is fine, but a Dragapult or Slowking matchup would be nice. Like a Shayworks or Alakazam or even Hops Trevanant. That would be awesome. This looks like it's going to be Lucario. This is a 50-50 matchup. I'm just basing it on the symbol there. It can be difficult because you can't two-shot Lucario. You got to get creative. But I'm going to go first. This is a good sign. Hopefully it's a janky fighting deck. Alright, and we're going to mulligan to start. One mulligan, okay. This hand's okay. This hand's fine because we can get Meowth and reset our hand. And we're going first, so. What you got? What's the card? Yeah, this is likely Lucario. Okay, so from my experience, they tend to boss and knock out the sorry, I'm making sure that I have enough juice in this. They tend to boss, right? So I want to make sure that we're not blown out next game, next turn. Sorry, it's getting late. Do I take my chances? Do I let them knock it out? Then I don't get Dusclops, but I do have Tenacity next turn or Ultra Ball for Meowth, so I'm not out. Let's see what they do. Do we force them to boss for the KO? Either way, I don't think it's correct to blow the Ultra Ball that turn. We're going to respond instead of be reactive. Really hoping they knock out the Duskull, actually. Okay, they're not going to boss. That's a really good sign, because we're going to go Tenacity next turn, most likely, instead of the Determination. Let's see what they do. Yeah, this is a pretty challenging matchup. One of the tougher ones, I'd say. Up there, maybe top 5. Okay. All right. I think we're good, guys. I don't think this is not bad. We've got a lot of legs still. I do like this in this matchup, actually, because this can one-shot Lucario, so we are going to run that. And we're going to also do this because this can two-shot. So I'm quite happy with that. Then what we can do, we can actually... Okay, I got the play. We're going to Ultra Ball right now. and give, because we lost the Duskull, and we're going to give up one Hilda. We did not use a supporter yet, right? No. So we're going to do that. And we're going to look for, I think we want Meowth. I was going to do this, right? But I actually think the play, no, we actually, can we? Yes, it is Meowth. We have rare candy, but Meowth's going to give us some juice. Oh, we already have the tenacity. Oh, okay. We didn't even need that. I guess it's fine. All right. We have tenacity already. All right, we're gonna. Do we want to give them a Pokemon though? I got to play. We're gonna do this. We're gonna Hilda. We don't want them right now to get any evolution, so we're gonna grab. Sorry guys, it's 3 a.m. My mind is fried from doing this all day, but we're gonna still pull through. Still works. Again, this deck has so many lines. If you guys see any, leave them in the comments. We're going to do that first. But then we're going to save this for determination. We're going to play this. Okay. I actually think that was the optimal play. That's what I had in mind. Like what I was thinking. I grabbed the Meowth. I think that's fine too. But yeah, I think we're golden here. And then now this is the tricky part. What to fucking grab, right? We can get a lot here. We're gonna set up for next turn, so we don't need any of this. We don't need any of that. We already have the Meowth. We don't need. We could go Starmie. Okay. We could go Boss. Lily, we can get with the Meowth. Rare Candy, Night Stretcher. Or we can blow them out with Ignition Energy. I just sort of feel like we don't have a backup. You know, we're going to go with Ignition. Again, this could be wrong. But, you know what? Worst case, if this does not work out, we can always Meowth for a Hilda for Starmie or Froslass, right? So we have options. We've got options. I'm not fretting it too much. I mean, even, I guess at this point, even Judge would be good. But I just don't see how they're gonna one up me here. See, they know Froslass can take it out. But that's fine. But this is what I'm saying. You give them options, and it makes it that much more difficult for them to navigate, right? Do they go for the Greninja? Do they go for the Starmie? Do they go for the Froslass? You present them with options. They're going to end up drawing more cards this game. I can guarantee it. But we're still going to be in the driver's seat. Okay, so in my opinion, I don't think they have anything that we're worried about, right? So we're gonna actually lead with this, and we're gonna try to two-shot. All right, so the first thing we're gonna grab to set this up, we're gonna grab that. The beautiful thing is we don't have to even look for the Starmie. We can just evolve, which is nice, right? We are then going to wait a turn. Let's see if they pop it, right? We're going to save this for the turn. We're going to save for the turn that we're going to evolve, right? We don't want to give them any advantage. Oh, shit, I hit it by accident. That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay. We're going to still save it. That's what the problem is with clicking on shit on this. But anyway, we're going to save that. What was the other energy? Okay, so we need the water. We're not going to play the tree yet, though. We're going to save that because they can knock it out and then we can't evolve to this, right? So we're going to lead with this first. 120. Threaten their bench. And I'd say this is where we want to be. So we can get a double hit, double KO. Next turn, we evolve to Dusknoir, and we ignition energy and knock out the Mega Lucario. I don't think there's a Dusclops in here. Okay, there's one. We have to hope the other one is in the deck. Right now I'm forcing them to boss up this so they don't get blood out next turn. Or there's that too, which is fine in a way because we're not taking 260 or 270, which is fine. Again, this is a very tricky matchup. Lots of options. I actually would like to get a nice stretcher to bring Snorunt back, and then Salvatore. Could be the reason why we still have the Meowth in our hand. All right, interesting. I actually think, I could be wrong, but I think that this might knock it out. 130 plus 210 is 3. Yeah, I think we still get the knockout. Guys, this is a turning point right here. We definitely need to make sure the Dusclops is in here. It is. Oh God, guys. Please Dusknoir be in here. It is. It is, guys. It is. Okay. The tricky part, though, is that if we pop this, they are going to be down 3 prizes. We could potentially lose this too, by the way, because they're gonna have Grand Tree for this, right? So my opinion, I think the play, honestly, I think the play here is to Meowth, because they can follow up next turn, get their own Grand Tree, and knock us out. So we're going to save 1 turn. We're going to Wally right now, because I can get blown out next turn, because the tree's there for them too. So we're going to Wally. This is why Wally's in the deck, guys. You need the Wally. I mean, even consider the second copy. Okay. Now I feel a lot safer. They can't blow us out next turn. So now we're gonna play. Yeah, they can't blow us out next turn. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna pop this. Thank God. See, don't be preemptive with your Meowths. Save it for when you really need it. They're going to be at the 3 prizes left. And now I hope this is a KO. It's late. I really hope this is a KO. It is. Exactly 340 with Dusknoir. So, for being this late, honestly, 320, I think we're doing fine. There's a lot of math. Okay, we got boss. And now they can't KO the Mega Starmie. So if I went ham to the wall and I would have just attacked and not wallied, we would have lost that game next turn. Guaranteed. I think now we are in the driver's seat to win this. See? We would have lost. 130, 180, yeah. Plus up some premium pros, we would have lost. And I do this in a lot of matchups, guys. I can lead with Starmie, and I can literally take over the entire game with Starmie if you time it right, if you sequence it right. And Meowth is clutch, guys. Meowth is clutch. That's why we don't play less than 2. And sometimes you stretch her for another copy. It carries a lot of weight. I'm just so grateful I didn't use it for anything except Wally. I just don't think they have anything. I don't know what else they would grab. Lily, yeah. They don't have energy. Okay. You guys see the play next turn, right? What I'm going to do. So I'm just going, that 50 on Akuhita was crucial. I set myself up to win now because I'm going to just energy, boss for that, knock this out, win the game with the 2 prizes. Guys, we did it. We pulled through. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you? That they would have more cards drawn by the end of the game. I'm taking a picture of this because, you know, and this is for content purposes because I'm not screenshotting on my laptop. But, you know, this is what I'm talking about. This is what this deck does. It's very technical, but it is so freaking worth it. It's over. It's done. Bring this out. And that is game. 120. And taking a picture of this to show, or video actually. Yeah, and then we're going to put the 50 on that, and that is game. We did it, guys. Almost optimal sequencing. Ooh, look at that. The Froslass was in there. That would have been a nightmare trying to navigate through Froslass, but we did it. We did it. And yeah. Yeah, I do my post through my phone, which is the reason why I'm screenshotting this right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using my phone, so I apologize for that, guys. But yeah, I'm putting this content out for players to see what this deck is doing. I'm really happy you guys were able to see that, how this operates. Being able to Dusknoir and then Ignition, the Lucario was key in that one. And just a lot of optimal plays. I'm playing it almost perfectly, honestly, at this time at night too. So if I did make any misplays, please tell me in the comments. You know, it's still a learning process for me. As good as I am with the deck, as much as I learn this deck, I'm still learning every day. And there might be things you guys see that I'm not seeing that will open my eyes to another decision tree, another line. It is 3:23. It is late. I don't know if I want to have another one. I think I'm going to call it a night. Yeah. I don't know if I want to change anything. I think the list is good as it is right now. I think it's a great way to end the stream. That was an epic win against Lucario. I'll be back tomorrow with more. I do have to get up early for class tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to run it back. I think those two matchups showcase, you know, the ins and outs of this deck, how it operates, and why Starmie is so crucial to the list. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. Again, like, comment, subscribe. It's really appreciated. Looking forward to more. And looking forward to someone smarter than me bringing this deck to NAIC and Worlds and taking it home. That would be amazing.